Hello from Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia. In this video, I will show you how I'm traveling here on a very low budget, and I will give you all the necessary recommendations so that you can do the same. The first thing you need to know if you are planning to travel to Malaysia is that since the 1st of January 2024, all travelers must fill in Malaysia Digital Arrival Card online within 3 days before their arrival. Actually, it takes only 5 minutes. You will need to provide your personal information and some details about your trip there. You need to write when you will leave the country. I put just an approximate date when I was planning to depart. I will leave the link to the form in the description below. After submitting it, you will receive an email with details about your registration, and you will have a PIN code there. With that PIN, you log in on the Malaysian immigration website, and then you can download a PDF file with your digital arrival card. You can just save it to your phone and later show it from your phone to the officer at the passport control. I passed the passport control very easily. The officer only asked me what I'm planning to do in Malaysia and where I will stay. He didn't ask for a return ticket, but I heard that they might ask. I usually don't like planning my trips too much in advance. I prefer going with the flow, so I don't know exactly when and from which place I will be leaving the country. If I was asked for a return ticket, I would try to explain that. Or if they insisted, I would just buy the cheapest available ticket online. There is free Wi-Fi at the airport. So, after getting my baggage, the first thing I did is I exchanged some money. Not much, only $20, because usually the exchange rate at airports is very bad, and Kuala Lumpur airport is not an exception. You can find a better exchange rate in the city. After that, I went to pick up a local SIM card. I learned that it's possible to buy a Malaysian SIM card online, which is cheaper than buying it at the airport, and then you just pick it up at the mobile operator shop at the airport. I bought mine on Klook. I will leave the link for you too. So the packages for SIM cards that they were offering at the airport were really more expensive than mine. Or for the same price you get less gigabytes. I bought a SIM card of the mobile operator DG. Their stand was a bit tricky to find. I came there, showed my voucher, they registered the SIM card for me, and 5 minutes later I was connected to the world. I bought a SIM card with a package of 30 gigabytes valid for 30 days. Then it was necessary to get to the city. Kuala Lumpur International Airport is 55 kilometers away from the city center, so it's a long journey. I searched for the cheapest option, and that was a bus. It costs only 15 Malaysian ringgit, which is $3.50. I calculated it according to the exchange rate I got at the airport. I needed to go to KL Central, which is a hub connecting all modes of public transport in Kuala Lumpur. Colloquially, Kuala Lumpur is often called KL. That's how I will call it too. So my couchsurfing host, with whom I agreed to stay in KL, said that he would come to pick me up from KL Central.
Excuse me, can I ask you, where can I get the bus ticket? It's like the cheapest way, yeah, right?
Yeah, bus is one of the cheapest way, but it will take time. It depends on the traffic actually. Hopefully it won't be stuck on the traffic jam. Yeah.
But I heard, because the train is 55 and this is 15, yes?
Yeah, it's very different.
So yeah.
That is the fastest way.
It's okay.
You can get the bus anywhere from the counter over there.
But when I came to buy the bus ticket, turned out that all the nearest buses were full. There were seats only on the bus departing in 2 hours. But when you travel on a budget, sometimes you have to wait longer. You either save money or time. I decided to wait and just work on editing my videos. By the way, it was possible to pay for the ticket with a card also. What I really like about Malaysia is that it's one of the most developed countries in Southeast Asia. So you can pay in majority of places by card, especially in KL, which is very convenient when you don't have too much cash. Of course, there were other options to get to the city. It was possible to take a fast train that takes only 20 to 30 minutes but costs 55 ringgit. Or it was possible to take a Grab, which is an analog of Uber in Asia, because Uber is not working there. So make sure to install this application to your phone. It can be very useful. Grab would cost 65 ringgit, and it's definitely cheaper than regular taxi. I didn't even check how much it would cost. I had a sandwich with me. I always make sure I have some food, snacks or fruits while traveling, so that I don't have to spend a lot of money on expensive food at airports. So, after 2 hours of waiting, I finally boarded my bus.
You can sit any seat, free seating, huh?
It was very comfortable and had an air conditioner, making it quite chilly, so I always make sure I carry a long sleeve with me for such cases. You need it also for public transportation in KL, as it can be very cold. They like putting aircon to the minimum temperature. The road to KL Central took about an hour. My couchsurfing host picked me up with his car and we went to his house, where he had very tasty food cooked. Sorry for showing you only leftovers. I was too hungry to take any videos. My host also had a sweet dog called Bentley. As I never come with empty hands, I brought to my host a souvenir from Thailand, where I was coming from at that moment, and some biscuits. Now let's have a little tour in the house. My host had a beautiful apartment on the 26th floor with an amazing view, and I had my own room there. The building also had a lounge area, a gym and a cool swimming pool with a city view. If you haven't heard about Couchsurfing before, it's a free hospitality platform. When you have this opportunity, you can host travelers at your place, and when you travel, you can stay with other members of this community. This is a great cultural experience, and it's also totally free, so it really gives people opportunity to explore the world even if they have a very limited budget. You can check my video about Couchsurfing using the link I left for you. Of course, you can think that Couchsurfing is not for you. Then you can always find some budget options on Booking, Hostel World or Airbnb. For example, you can rent a bed in a hostel room for as cheap as $3 per night. And there are budget hotels in KL too. But one thing you should know is that in Malaysia, usually there are additional charges added to the price initially shown to you, at least on Booking. It happened to me when I stayed in a hostel in Malacca, another city in Malaysia. $2.50 per night were added to the price. It was tourism tax. But if I didn't book the hostel on Booking and just directly came and paid in the hostel, I wouldn't have to pay the tax. The price would be lower. That's what the receptionist told me. So, if you want to save money, it's going to be cheaper if you do it that way. But then, of course, you need to make sure that they have free rooms available. In the morning, we had breakfast at home, some chicken pie with coffee. Whenever we ate anything, Bentley always came to ask for food, and he was also always ready to play. After that, my host Prince kindly offered to bring me to a very beautiful touristic place, Batu Caves. You know, on Couchsurfing, you get a free place to stay, and actually hosts don't have to do anything apart from that, and you never expect anything else from them. But in reality, I've seen a lot of hospitable people that also give you food and sometimes take you to places if they have free time. So this time I was very lucky, because Prince was very kind and also made sure that I'm not hungry and was willing to show me around. So we came to Batu Caves, where you can see a beautiful Hindu temple located in the cave high in the mountain. You can get there using the stairs. We had lunch in an Indian cafe near Batu Caves. We ordered roti and Prince didn't let me pay for the food. But in general, food in Malaysia is not expensive and very diverse, so everyone can find something for their taste and you can get a decent meal for $2 to $3. Malaysia is a very culturally diverse country. The main three ethnic groups here are Malays that constitute 62.5% of the Malaysian population, Chinese that constitute 22.8%, and 7% of the population in Malaysia are Indians. That is why, along with mosques, as Islam is a main religion, you can also see a lot of Chinese Buddhist temples or Hindu temples here. I have a separate video about Batu Caves and all other places I visited. I will leave the links for all of them. After Batu Caves, we came back and had dinner at home. I was really lucky because Prince liked cooking and did it very well. And Bentley would never say no to any food. He ate literally everything. He always came to ask for food when I was eating, so I always shared everything with him. In the evening, we went to a bar with live music, where Prince also met with his friends, and I was very happy because they danced salsa and bachata there, which I really love. The next day, the weather was cloudy. The morning traditionally started with playing with Bentley, then Prince cooked very delicious omelette and all of us had delicious breakfasts. Of course, for Bentley it was never enough. And then the rain started, so we decided to stay at home until it's finished. Prince also agreed to host one more girl, so we got more crowded. The girl was from Indonesia and we spent time together watching some TV programs and sharing our travel stories and experiences. Then I decided to work on my YouTube videos. When I travel, I don't always move around and go sightseeing. Sometimes I just need to sit down and do some work. The rain stopped by the evening and we decided to go for a walk to a park together with Bentley. The girl didn't join us as she needed to go to some event in the city. As I travel long-term, I am not short in time and I am not in a hurry. I like not only going and exploring new places, but I also enjoy some simple things, just walking around, meeting locals or other travelers, just reading or chilling. I also like to see the real life of people in the places I visit. Plus, when you are always very active, always run around a lot, very soon traveling becomes really tiring. So it's good just to chill sometimes. After the walk, we went to a Chinese cafe in a shopping mall nearby, and Prince ordered several different things that I tried for the first time, and that tasted very nice. The next day, Prince was busy and after a good breakfast at home, I decided to go and explore the city by myself. Prince's house was far from the city center and it took me about 1.5 hours to get there. And again, my host was too kind and generous. He gave me a Kuala Lumpur transportation card that had money on the balance, so I didn't spend money again. If you come to KL, I definitely recommend you to use the public transportation. It's very well organized and it's quite cheap. With buses, trains and the metro, you can get anywhere in the city. I recommend you to get a Touch and Go card that can be used for all types of public transportation in KL. You can buy it at metro or train stations. In February 2024, when I was in KL, the price of the card was 20 ringgit and you had 15 ringgit on your balance. So the price of the card itself is 5 ringgit. Believe me, this card will make your life very easy. It is possible to buy tokens in the machines on the stations when you take MRT or LRT train, but if you want to use the bus, you must have the card. Cash is not accepted on buses. In general, the public transport in KL is easy to use. You can just go to Google Maps, enter the destination where you want to go, and it will show you all the transportation options. The fee for buses or metro depends on the distance of your trip. You scan your card when you get on the bus or enter the MRT/LRT station, and then scan it again when you get off the bus or leave the station. When I was there, the maximum fare of the bus was 3 ringgit. My trip this time cost 2.4 ringgit. If the distance you go is short, just a couple of stops, you can pay as little as 1 ringgit for your trip. So totally recommend using the public transportation there. Of course, if you are short of time, it's better to stay in the city center, so that you can visit the main places easily. There are cheap hostels in the center, and the main attractions are quite walkable. They can be within 20 or 30 minutes walk. But when you stay with couchsurfing hosts, quite often they live far from the city center. On this day, first I came to the historical Merdeka Square, where Malaysia proclaimed its independence. I really loved it that Kuala Lumpur has a lot of interesting places to see and lots of activities. I would recommend you to always have water with you as KL is hot all year round. I forgot to take water from home, and when I went to 7-Eleven, a famous chain of supermarkets in the countries of Southeast Asia, it turned out that they didn't have any water left. They were out of stock. So I just bought some local soft drink that was actually quite good, especially when you are so thirsty. Then I went to KL Central Market, that was built in the year 1888, and that is a famous historical and touristic place. It's full of souvenirs, arts and handicrafts, and it also reflects the multicultural diversity of Malaysia. It's also possible to get some nice local food here. I bought a bottle of water in a supermarket of the Central Market. After that, I went to explore a Hindu temple located not too far away. The entrance to the temple is free, you just give 20 cents to a man at the door. He puts your shoes to a separate numbered box, keeps an eye on it, and you get it when you go out of the temple. I took some fruits with me from home, so that I don't have to eat outside and can save money on food. Then I decided to have a walk in Chinatown, as it was also nearby and as it's also an interesting place in KL. Its street market is famous for selling imitation goods, fake brands, and also there are a lot of different food options there. Then it started to rain, so I decided to come back home. Though I was in KL in February, which is considered a dry season, it rained a bit almost every day, so I would suggest to always carry an umbrella with you, as you can never really predict the weather there. After dinner at home, we went out with my host and other girls from couchsurfing. We went to a Sky Bar where there was a Latin dance night. In KL, they have such dance nights almost every day and on some days in several different locations. It's a paradise for salsa and bachata lovers. On the next day, my host was not working and he offered to go to Kanching Waterfalls, located half an hour drive from KL. It was a great experience. There are several tiers of the waterfalls located inside of a forest park. Swimming there in the hot weather was very nice and refreshing. After that, we came back to KL and went to see some popular places in the city. I really enjoyed the beautiful city skyline. Of course, we came to visit the famous Petronas Towers, which is a symbol of Kuala Lumpur and the highest twin structure in the world. Then we walked to Saloma Bridge, from where you also get a very nice view of the city. So, these are all the expenses I had in these 5 days. As I said, I was very lucky that my host was really hospitable and that he always made sure that I'm not hungry and took me to some places in KL. But even if that wasn't the case, there are cheap hostels, public transportation is not expensive, and there are a lot of options for nice and cheap food. I hope that this video was useful and you will have a great trip to KL.